Hello everyone, welcome to ChemTrek, where I take you all on an extremely exciting journey with chemistry. आज तक you all have studied chemistry and you all have memorized the equations. For the first time, you all are going to observe chemistry on an experimental level. On this channel, we are going to learn chemistry at the snap of my fingers. The first colorful chapter that we are going to undertake is called as analytical chemistry. Analytical comes from the word analysis. And here we are going to take something called as a metallic salt solution, which normally has a total of two parts, a cation and an anion. इस चैप्टर में हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ cation के ऊपर फोकस करेंगे. So let's go to our learning station. So chemical equations लिखने से पहले इस चैप्टर की थियोरी पे हल्का सा ध्यान देते हैं. Every single equation that we write onto the board is going to follow the general equation that we have already written for you all. We are going to start with something that we call as a metallic salt solution, and to that metallic salt solution we are supposed to add a small amount of alkali. The alkali over here can be of a total of two types. Either it can be sodium hydroxide given by the formula NaOH or ammonium hydroxide which is given by the formula NH4OH. यहाँ पे हमेशा दो प्रोडक्ट्स मिलेंगे, ये बात कंपलसरी है. उसमें से पहला वाला should be a soluble salt and the second one should be a precipitate. Now this precipitate has to be a colored precipitate. Alkali जब डालेंगे ना, तो जो NaOH है NH4OH डालेंगे, उसको डालने का एक तरीका है. You add the NaOH or NH4OH either first drop by drop and then you add it in excess and check whether the precipitate dissolves or not. The first salt that we are going to try this is with calcium nitrate, which is given by the formula CaNO3 the whole twice. Now शुरुआत करते हैं सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड से. Right now I am adding it drop by drop and understand that every single equation will be a double decomposition equation. जहाँ पे जरूरी ये है that the positive of the first goes to the negative of the second and the positive of the second comes to the negative of the first. अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. Na goes with NO3. So let's start. Here we have NaNO3. उसके बाद Ca goes with OH, so आएगा CaOH the whole twice. बैलेंस करते हैं इक्वेशन. यहाँ पे मेरे पास दो नाइट्रेट के रेडिकल्स है ना, तो नाइट्रेट को बैलेंस करने के लिए we have 2 here, दो सोडियम को बैलेंस करने के लिए we have 2 here. Understand that the last product is always a precipitate indicated by the downward arrow, and this time this precipitate is going to be white. और ध्यान में रखिए that it's supposed to be insoluble, मतलब dissolve होने वाला नहीं है. Now the second reaction is with respect to something that we call as ammonium hydroxide. Let's see what happens. वापस लिखते हैं. We have CaNO3 the whole twice, which is the formula for calcium nitrate, and we react with ammonium hydroxide, which is given by the formula NH4OH. But यहाँ पे एक प्रॉब्लम है. ये जो रिएक्शन है ना, ये होने वाला ही नहीं है. So therefore I'm writing no reaction over here, and I'll tell you all the reason why. Ammonium hydroxide that we use over here is supposed to be a weak base. A weak base dissociates partially, and the number of hydroxyl ions which are produced by ammonium hydroxide are not sufficient to precipitate calcium as calcium hydroxide. अब यही बात मैं आपके लिए एक बार दोहराता हूँ. I am trying to tell you all that no precipitation occurs even with the addition of excess NH4OH, and that is because of the fact that the concentration of OH minus ions, that is the hydroxide ions from the ionization of NH4OH, is so low that it cannot precipitate the hydroxide of calcium. And right now it's time for you all to take a snapshot. For this experiment, we are going to require distilled water, sodium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, the different metallic salt solutions in a test tube, and a dropper. In our test tube given over here, we have a small amount of calcium nitrate solution. To this, I am adding sodium hydroxide and very carefully adding it drop by drop. The moment I do this, I expect the formation of a white precipitate. Irrespective of how much of sodium hydroxide I add after this particular precipitate is going to remain insoluble, यानी वो dissolve होने वाला नहीं है. To another test tube which contains calcium nitrate solution, I add a small amount of ammonium hydroxide. Now you all see, even if I am adding ammonium hydroxide, I am not getting the formation of any precipitate. In fact, even if I take this ammonium hydroxide and add it in excess, कोई भी precipitate किसी भी तरीके से develop होने वाला नहीं है. This is because ammonium hydroxide is a weak base and the hydroxyl ion concentration is not sufficient to precipitate the calcium as calcium hydroxide. In comparison, जिस कैल्शियम नाइट्रेट में हमने सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड डाला था, I got a white precipitate, and in this particular case for ammonium hydroxide, no precipitate was developed in any way whatsoever. So now for the second and third metallic salt, I am going to show you all the reactions first, and then we'll follow it by the equations. Now we have a test tube over here which contains a small amount of ferrous sulfate solution. The moment I add sodium hydroxide drop by drop, I will expect the formation of a dirty green precipitate. Irrespective of how much of a sodium hydroxide now I add in excess, this precipitate is going to remain insoluble. In another test tube which also contains ferrous sulfate solution, I add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop and again expect the formation of a dirty green precipitate. Again over here, irrespective of how much of ammonium hydroxide I add, the dirty green precipitate is not going to dissolve. Now it's time to compare both of them. In both of the cases of sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide, the precipitate, which is dirty green in color, remains insoluble. So we have a test tube over here which contains ferric chloride solution, and to this particular test tube I am going to add sodium hydroxide drop by drop. We are going to expect the formation of a precipitate, and the color of the precipitate is going to be reddish brown in color. Notice that even when I add excess of sodium hydroxide, the precipitate is going to remain insoluble. Now let's repeat the same experiment with ammonium hydroxide. I change my test tube. I again bring ferric chloride solution, and if you all see, ammonium hydroxide I am taking very carefully because the smell is extremely pungent and irritating. To this we add ammonium hydroxide, and how are we going to add it first? Drop by drop. Let's check out the color. It's again going to be reddish brown in color. फिर इसी अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड को हम एक्सेस में लेंगे और ये देखेंगे कि ये अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड का जो प्रेसिपिटेट है वो डिसॉल्व होने वाला नहीं है. सो इट्स गोइंग टू रिमेन इनसोल्यूबल. रिकैप के लिए, वी हैव फेरस सल्फेट in both of them, sodium hydroxide in the first one, ammonium in the second. In both of them, it gives me a reddish brown precipitate which remains insoluble. The reaction that we just saw, it's now time to represent them in the form of an equation. The first salt that we had taken was ferrous sulfate, which is given by the formula FeSO4. We add a small amount of sodium hydroxide to it, and right now we are adding it drop by drop. Sodium goes to sulfate. I am going to get Na2SO4. After which I am going to get FeOH the whole twice. Now this particular part over here is going to be my precipitate, and the interesting thing is that this precipitate is going to be dirty green in color. ये precipitate dissolve होने वाला नहीं है, and therefore I write down the term insoluble. To balance the equation, I have 2 of sodium here, so let's quickly balance it with 2 of NaOH. The hydroxyl part gets automatically balanced. I can do the exact same thing with ammonium hydroxide. So let's start with ferrous sulfate again. That's your FeSO4. Rather than using sodium hydroxide, I use ammonium hydroxide as NH4OH. Ammonium goes with sulfate, I get NH4 the whole twice, SO4. Fe again goes with OH, I get FeOH the whole twice. The color remains exactly the same. The color is again going to be dirty green. वो वापस dissolve होने वाला नहीं है. So let's write down insoluble. फटाफट equation को balance करने के लिए, we have 2 of NH4 over here. We balance it by writing 2 over here. The hydroxyl again gets automatically balanced. The second salt that we had taken in consideration at that time was ferric chloride, which is supposed to be given by the formula FeCl3. I add a small amount of sodium hydroxide to it, which is drop by drop. Na goes to Cl, I'll be getting sodium chloride, that's NaCl, and this time I'll get FeOH the whole thrice, because here I'm using a ferric salt, तो मुझे ferric hydroxide का precipitate मिलेगा. Color to be very specific, please have a look. It's going to be reddish followed by brown, so it's reddish brown, and yes, it's supposed to be insoluble, मतलब dissolve होने वाला तो नहीं है. फटाफट बैलेंस कर देते हैं. Here we have 3 of chlorine, there we have just 1, so we have 3 here. 3 सोडियम है, 3 सोडियम को बैलेंस करने के लिए here we have 3. Now the same reaction I can do with ammonium hydroxide also. ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. So let's again start with ferric chloride, that's FeCl3. सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड की जगह अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड यानी कि NH4OH. NH4 गया Cl के साथ, मुझे मिला NH4Cl, और Fe गया OH के साथ. पर ध्यान रखेंगे FeOH the whole thrice because it's ferric hydroxide. Precipitate है, कलर भी चेंज नहीं होता. Let's write down again, reddish, and yes, guessed it right, followed by brown. Dissolve होगा क्या? बिल्कुल नहीं, तो मुझे मिलेगा insoluble precipitate. फटाफट इस इक्वेशन को बैलेंस करते हैं. Let's we have 3Cl here, यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक है, तो यहाँ पे 3NH4, उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए we have 3 of H4 over here. So now I'm going to show you all the reactions which are specific to copper salts. So now we have copper sulfate solution over here. To this I am going to add sodium hydroxide, and initially I am going to add it drop by drop. And if you all see, I am getting the formation of a precipitate here, and the color of this precipitate is given as pale blue in color. If I add this sodium hydroxide in excess, वो dissolve होने वाला नहीं है, which means it is going to remain insoluble. Now we've again taken a solution of copper sulfate, but this time I'm going to add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop, very carefully. And initially, if you all see at the bottom part over here, I'm expecting the formation of a pale blue precipitate. But the moment I dissolve or add more of ammonium hydroxide, that pale blue precipitate is going to dissolve and it's going to give me a deep inky blue solution. Now for a recap, if you all see, when I added sodium hydroxide, I had got a pale blue precipitate which remained insoluble. In ammonium hydroxide, I did get a pale blue precipitate initially, which dissolved in excess, giving me a deep inky blue solution. And now it's time to represent them in the form of an equation. शुरुआत करते हैं with respect to copper sulfate. It is given as CuSO4. Let's add a small amount of sodium hydroxide drop by drop. Sodium goes with sulfate. I get a soluble salt, Na2SO4, that's sodium sulfate. After which I am going to get CuOH the whole twice. Now if you all do remember, the color is supposed to be very specific over here. It is supposed to be a pale blue precipitate, and in this particular case it is supposed to be insoluble, मतलब dissolve होने वाला नहीं है. Now to balance the equation, what I can do is I have 2 of sodium, so to balance I just have to place a 2 over here, and the equation इसके बाद खुद ही balance हो जाएगा. After this, let's see what we're going to do. I can do the similar equation with ammonium hydroxide. So I take copper sulfate, I put ammonium hydroxide, which is NH4OH. NH4 goes with SO4, I get NH4 whole twice, SO4, and CuOH the whole twice. Now copper hydroxide again is supposed to be a pale blue precipitate, but now let's see what is going to happen. Pale blue precipitate to hai, but this time this particular precipitate is going to dissolve. So I write down solute. Now I balance this particular equation by placing a 2 in front of NH4OH. Now in this particular case, if you all see, I said that this pale blue precipitate is going to dissolve, मतलब वो soluble होने वाला है. I'm going to take both these products and I'm going to shift them towards the left hand side. So I start writing NH4 the whole twice SO4. माई प्रेसिपिटेट जो इस वक्त डिजोल्व होगा विच इज CuOH द होल ट्वाइस. अब वो डिजोल्व किस में होगा? इट इज गोइंग टू डिजोल्व इन NH4OH ओनली, बट दिस टाइम दिस अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड इज गोइंग टू बी इन excess, which means I'm going to put a lot of ammonium hydroxide. I am going to get the formation of a complex salt. नाम बता दे रहा हूँ, सुन लो. It's tetra amine copper sulfate. Amine ग्रुप का मतलब होता है NH3 in brackets. Tetra का मतलब होता है 4. So I put 4 here. And I said tetra amine copper sulfate. It's a complex salt. I put this in brackets. And with this I am going to get the formation of water. Understand, to balance the equation what do? I place a 2 in front of NH4OH and a 4 of H2O. Now this tetraamine copper sulfate solution, when it dissolves in water, it is going to give me a deep pinky blue solution, and that's going to be your final observation. For the next part, let's see what kind of reactions lead salts undergo and whether their precipitates dissolve in sodium hydroxide or ammonium hydroxide. So here in the test tube, we have taken a small amount of lead nitrate solution. To this particular test tube, I am adding drop by drop quantities of sodium hydroxide, and let's see if we get the formation of a precipitate. In this particular case, the kind of precipitate that you all are seeing is considered to be a chalky white precipitate. Now when I add excess of sodium hydroxide to this particular solution, it is expected that this particular precipitate is going to completely dissolve after some time, and hence after that it is going to give me a colorless solution. If you all see, I continuously add more of sodium hydroxide so that the quantity is in excess, and when I continuously shake it, I expect that this particular precipitate is going to completely dissolve. And now when I am adding more and more of NaOH and I shake the test tube thoroughly, I will expect that this particular precipitate is going to completely dissolve, giving me a colorless solution. To the second test tube over here, which again contains lead nitrate, I am going to add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop and again expect the formation of a chalky white precipitate. This time, irrespective of how much ever ammonium hydroxide I am going to add to this particular test tube, this particular precipitate is going to remain insoluble. For comparison, we have the test tube in which we added sodium hydroxide, the precipitate dissolves, however in ammonium hydroxide it remains the same way. And now the reactions for the same. We start with the salt lead nitrate, which is given by the formula PbNO3 the whole twice. To that I am supposed to add sodium hydroxide first, drop by drop. Na goes with NO3, so I am going to get NaNO3, and after that I am going to get PbOH the whole twice. Now in this particular case, please understand that the precipitate is supposed to be chalky white in color, but it is going to be soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. पहले इक्वेशन बैलेंस कर लेते हैं. NO3 को बैलेंस करने के लिए I have 2 here, सोडियम को बैलेंस करने के लिए I have 2 here. लेड हाइड्रोक्साइड सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड के एक्सेस में हो जाएगा डिसॉल्व. सो से सपोज आई टेक PbOH को whole twice, I add sodium hydroxide to it, and this time this particular sodium hydroxide is in excess. I am going to get a complex salt. नाम है sodium plumbite, given by the formula Na2 PbO2 and with the formation of water. To balance, 2 सोडियम है तो यहाँ पे 2 H2 total 4 hydrogen, so 2H2O. Now when this complex salt dissolves in water, I am going to get a colorless solution. Now let's see the exact same reactions of lead nitrate with respect to ammonium hydroxide. So शुरुआत करते हैं. I have lead nitrate which is PbNO3 the whole twice. Ammonium hydroxide drop by drop डालेंगे which is NH4OH. NH4 goes with NO3, I get NH4NO3, and Pb goes with OH, giving me PbOH the whole twice. कलर तो exactly वही रहेगा, chalky white. अब यहाँ पे फर्क सिर्फ इतना है कि जो प्रेसिपिटेट सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड में डिसॉल्व हो गया वो अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड में डिसॉल्व होने वाला नहीं है. सो लेट्स राइट डाउन इनसोल्यूबल. फाइनली सिर्फ इक्वेशन को बैलेंस करना रह गया है. सो व्हाट आर वी गोना डू? वी हैव 2 ऑफ नाइट्रेट हियर. यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक है. सो 2 हियर, 2NH4, 2NH4. And with that, it's time for you to take a snapshot. Now let's see the reaction with zinc, and this time something really amazing is going to happen. In our test tube given over here, we have a small amount of zinc sulfate solution. To that, we add a small quantity of sodium hydroxide drop by drop, and I am supposed to expect the formation of a gelatinous white precipitate. To this gelatinous white precipitate, if I add sodium hydroxide in excess, we will see that that particular precipitate is going to completely dissolve, giving me a colorless solution. To the second test tube, which again contains zinc sulfate, I add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop, and I'm again going to expect the formation of a gelatinous white precipitate. To this precipitate, if I add ammonium hydroxide in excess, I will see that slowly this precipitate begins to dissolve. Now to that gelatinous white precipitate, if I add excess of ammonium hydroxide, I am going to expect the formation of a colorless solution. To compare, in both of the cases, the gelatinous white precipitate has completely dissolved, giving me colorless solutions. On to the equations. We start with zinc sulfate, which is given by the formula ZnSO4. I put sodium hydroxide. First, we are going to add it drop by drop. Na goes with SO4, gives me a soluble salt, Na2SO4, and ZnOH, the whole twice. Color बड़ा specific है, याद रखेंगे. It is supposed to be gelatinous white in color. And the good thing here is this particular precipitate is going to dissolve, मतलब solubilize होने वाला है. पहले balance कर लेते हैं. Sodium के दो atoms, just to balance a 2 over here. Zinc hydroxide, sodium hydroxide के excess में हो जाएगा dissolve. So let's start with the precipitate. ZnOH, the whole twice. I add NaOH और dissolve करने के लिए जरूरी है that I add it in excess. Complex salt मिलेगा. पहले नाम समझ लेते हैं. It's going to be sodium zincate, given by the formula Na2, ZnO2, and I'm going to have the formation of water. Balance करने के लिए 2 of sodium सिर्फ एक है, तो 2 हाइड्रोजन टोटल हुए 4, 2 of H2. Complex salt है, पानी में dissolve होगा. It's going to give me a colorless solution. Now let's see what happens with ammonium hydroxide. शुरुआत वहीं से. जिंक सल्फेट लेते हैं, ZnSO4, अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड पहले डालेंगे ड्रॉप बाय ड्रॉप. NH4 goes with SO4, NH4 the whole twice, SO4. प्रेसिपिटेट वही है, जिंक हाइड्रोक्साइड. डाउनवर्ड एरो से रिप्रेजेंट भी किया. प्रेसिपिटेट वही है, कलर भी वही होगा, इसलिए लिख देते हैं यहाँ पे जेलाटिनस व्हाइट. फटाफट इस इक्वेशन को बैलेंस कर लेते हैं. यहाँ पे मेरे पास है NH4 के 2, so here I have 2NH4OH. Now understand one thing, इस जिंक हाइड्रोक्साइड को डिसॉल्व करने के लिए इस सॉल्ट की भी जरूरत पड़ेगी. So let's take the entire 2 products and make them as your reactants. शुरुआत करते हैं. NH4 the whole twice, SO4. फिर वो जिंक हाइड्रोक्साइड लेते हैं जो डिसॉल्व होगा, और वो किस में डिसॉल्व होगा? It will dissolve in NH4OH. कैसे क्वांटिटी में? एक्सेस क्वांटिटी में. कॉम्प्लेक्स सॉल्ट. इस तरीके के सॉल्ट हम पहली बार सुन चुके हैं. नाउ व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज टेट्राअमाइन जिंक सल्फेट. अमाइन ग्रुप मैंने तुम्हें बताया था कि वो होता है NH3. टेट्रा मतलब 4, सो टेट्राअमाइन जिंक सल्फेट. ब्रैकेट में डाल देते हैं. एंड आई एम गोइंग टू गेट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ वाटर. फटाफट बैलेंस करते हैं. 2NH4OH, 4 of H2. सॉल्ट है, पूरी तरीके से पानी में डिसॉल्व हो गया. अगेन इट्स गोइंग टू गिव मी अ कलरलेस सॉल्यूशन. एंड दैट्स द अमेजिंग फैक्ट अबाउट जिंक. ये इकलौता ऐसा मेटालिक सॉल्ट है जिसका प्रेसिपिटेट सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड और अमोनियम हाइड्रोक्साइड दोनों में पूरी तरीके से डिसॉल्व हो जाता है. एंड नाउ इट्स टाइम फॉर यू ऑल टू टेक अ स्नैपशॉट. So let's move on to the next part of the chapter where we are going to study something called as reactions of amphoteric metals. Now what are these amphoteric metals? An amphoteric metal is a metal which is capable of reacting with an acid as well as with an alkali to give me salt and hydrogen. For this particular chapter, we are only going to see the reactions of these amphoteric metals with respect to alkalis. Zaruri hai that the alkali that we are taking is extremely hot and concentrated. You're only allowed to use caustic alkalis over here, that is extremely concentrated alkalis which are extremely corrosive. So we are going to use sodium hydroxide given by the formula NaOH and potassium hydroxide given by the formula KOH. Amphoteric metals हमारे पास सिर्फ 3 हैं. I prefer to call them as the ZAP metals. Z से Zn, zinc, A से aluminium, that is Al, and P से Pb, which is nothing but lead. You need to know very important radicals over here, which are a total of 3 again. Zincate, ZnO2, 2 minus, plumbite, PbO2, 2 minus, and aluminate, AlO2, 1 minus. So now let's see the reactions. Zinc is my first metal given by the formula Zn. I'm going to write it a total of 2 times. Why? One for sodium hydroxide given by the formula NaOH, and the other one for potassium hydroxide given by the formula KOH. In both of the cases, the salt is going to be a complex salt. Sodium zincate, which is given by the formula Na2ZnO2, and the liberation of diatomic hydrogen gas. Since it's the gas, I'm indicating it by the upward arrow. Understand that when I use sodium hydroxide, I get sodium zincate. So when I use potassium hydroxide, I'll be getting potassium zincate. Na2ZnO2 की जगह पे I'll be getting K2ZnO2, and again the liberation of diatomic hydrogen given by the upward arrow. Balancing दोनों equations के लिए same है. यहाँ पे 2 सोडियम है, so 2 NaOH, 2 पोटेशियम है, इसलिए 2 of KOH. Now similarly, please to understand that lead and aluminium undergo very similar kind of reactions. Lead reacts with sodium hydroxide to give me sodium plumbite, and lead reacts with potassium hydroxide to give me potassium plumbite. Both of them will liberate hydrogen, which is supposed to be a diatomic gas. Balancing के लिए we have 2 of NaOH and 2 of KOH. Now please to understand. For aluminium, if you'll notice, I have taken sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, but there's a third reactant as well, which we consider to be water. This is because this particular reaction takes place in aqueous conditions. I get a total of 2 products in each: sodium aluminate with respect to sodium hydroxide and potassium aluminate with respect to potassium hydroxide. If you'll notice, these 2 equations are not balanced, and I'll do it on the spot for you. Please have a look. I start with 2 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here, but at the end I have a 3. Let's continue. 2 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here, and at the end 3. Please do understand that for all these 6 reactions, the observation is exactly the same. Since in all of them hydrogen gas is liberated, the moment you introduce a burning splinter in that test tube containing hydrogen, that hydrogen will burn with a pop sound. And after that, it is going to continue to burn with a pale blue flame. And after this, you know what? It's time for you all to take a snapshot. So if you guys are still here with me, it just goes to show what real kind of chemistry enthusiasts you guys are. Now we are going for the last part of this particular chapter, in which we are going to take an amphoteric metals oxide or hydroxide. Now what is exactly an amphoteric oxide or a hydroxide? They are substances which are capable of reacting with an acid as well as with an alkali to give me salt and water. For this particular part of the chapter, we are only going to focus on the alkalis. They're again 2 in number, sodium hydroxide as NaOH and potassium hydroxide as KOH. They are supposed to be extremely hot and concentrated. Now, let's go for the reaction part. In this particular case, we either have zinc oxide or zinc hydroxide and they react with sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide के react करने के बाद they will give me the salt which is sodium zincate and water which is given by the formula H2O. Now in the next particular part we are going to take lead oxide or lead hydroxide which is again going to react with sodium hydroxide. In this particular case the salts are again going to be the same. I am going to get sodium plumbite with the formation of water given by the formula H2O. And the last part I am going to have aluminium oxide or aluminium hydroxide again reacting with sodium hydroxide. This time the salt is sodium aluminate with the formation of water. The equations, to be very honest, can easily be balanced. अब एक बात यहाँ पे ध्यान से सुनो. Say suppose इन सारे reactions में हमने सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड ना लेके पोटेशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड लिया होता तो मुझे सोडियम जिंकेट की जगह मिलता पोटेशियम जिंकेट, सोडियम प्लम्बाइट की जगह मिलता पोटेशियम प्लम्बाइट एंड सोडियम एल्यूमिनेट की जगह मिलता पोटेशियम एल्यूमिनेट. Every single place where y'all see an Na onto the board, y'all are supposed to replace it by K, ताकि सोडियम के सॉल्ट्स बन जाए पोटेशियम के सॉल्ट्स एंड सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड बन जाए पोटेशियम हाइड्रोक्साइड. एंड y'all know what? It is time for y'all to take a snapshot. Time for question of the day, where we quench your thirst for chemistry. Y'all are going to tell me what are the practical applications of analytical chemistry on a day-to-day basis. The best answer in the comment section will get a gift from Chemtrek. I am done with my part of reactions and now it's time that I hear your reactions for this particular video. If you think this video has really helped y'all, please do like the video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that y'all get all the latest notifications.